Hello everyone, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and it is Thursday, 27th of March 2025, and I've just had a couple of kits arrive from Hannants, Airfix kits, and they are basically brand new re-releases, if you like. So they're brand new restocks, but they're re-releases, originally told in 2015. I think these were sold as part of a set, weren't they? I can't remember, but they are lovely little kits. I wish I'd got them back then, but have them now. So thought I'd do a little review. You guys have asked me to do some cheaper stuff, so I am doing cheaper stuff. I'm also going to carry on my expensive stuff, but I'm going to do a few cheaper things as well. And I've got a couple of builds going on in the background of cheaper kits that you can get your teeth into and enjoy. And these two will be another two of those, because I will build these and video it in a sort of quick style as well. So let's have a look. I got these from Hannants. If you want to get your kits from Hannants, if you go onto the Hannants website and you pre-order, generally when a kit is announced, they will generally give 10% off for a pre-order. So you basically click on it, add it to cart, you put it in your cart, and it goes into the back orders, or it goes straight into the back orders list. And you then generate a list of back orders, and they will give you 10% off. And then when the kit is released, they will send you an email and say an order in your back order, a product in your back order list has come into stock, and they automatically put it in your basket, but they don't automatically charge you for it. So if you should change your mind, you can take it out of the basket, whatever, but it stays there until you purchase it. But bear in mind, if they put it in your basket and it's you know, something like that HMS Sheffield that everybody wanted as soon as it came out, if they put it in your basket and you don't buy it, they will sell it to someone else. So it's not reserved if it's in your basket. It doesn't mean it's reserved. So it's reserved for you in the back order list, I believe, but only for a certain time. But read the small print and it will tell you all about it. So I got these from Hannants. They've come this morning. They were sent overnight via Parcel Force, so they only got them in stock yesterday. So here we go. Well, no, day before. They got them on Tuesday. So let's have a look at this one first. This is they're both 1/48 scale, and they're kind of aimed at dioramas, but let's have a look. So this one is the World War II 1500 weight 4x2 general service truck. It's actually a Bedford, but obviously because of licensing costs, they've decided not to call it a Bedford. So on the side here, we've got all the health and safety stuff. Hornby Hobbies, there's their address and phone number and everything. And then we've got cartograph decals. They never make much fuss about cartograph decals, do they? But always look for it on the side of the box there, that little symbol. That tells you it's cartograph decals, which always means it's good, because Airfix cartographs seem to be better than anybody else's cartograph. Don't ask me why, I don't know. So you can see on here, this is something they've started doing, which I really respect them for. You've got model design and tooling 2015. So unlike some other manufacturers that will stick something in a nice shiny box and say it's new, Airfix are actually telling you when it was actually done. Even if it was 1965, they will tell you it's 1965. So look out for that. And then we've got the decal scheme was 2015 and the package design was 2025. And I think that's only because I'm sure these were sold as like part of an RAF set, weren't they? And then coming over the box, a lot of people ask, why is this upside, why is that like that, and why is that upside down? Okay, and this is exactly the reason. So reviewers can go like that, and like that. And now we can see the two versions we've got. So we've got an early version, which is British Army 1940, and we've got a late version, which is Royal Air Force 1943. So this one's got the Mickey Mouse camo by the look of it, and this one's got the later, that's either going to be SCC 15, is it? I can't remember now. Or that'll be the olive drab type 1. If it's a later one, it'll be US olive drab. Anyway, we've got 95 parts. It's 89mm long and 41mm wide. I must be honest. Somebody told me when I mentioned I was getting this, somebody told me that the wheels and tires in the kit are incorrect. And I wish they hadn't told me, because once I've been told something and I see it, then I can't unsee it. Def Mod will make a set of resin wheels for this with a much finer tread. These have got a very, very chunky tread on them. Perfectly excusable, probably because the vehicle they use for reference is obviously a modern restoration, and probably the tyres that they used back in the 40s are no longer available. So these tyres are quite chunky. So that's why I've ordered the wheels and tyres. It's crazy actually. This kit cost me about £16 because it was pre-ordered with the money off. And also if you spend over £98 you get free postage, so I always do that. And yeah, they what was I saying? I've completely lost it now. Yeah, that's right. The kit cost me about £16, and the wheels and tyres alone cost £13. So pays your money, takes your choice, don't you? So there we go. We've got a top opening box. We've got a nice rigid inner liner. It is made in India. It's all bagged up in one bag, but the sprues can't really move about too much because the box is pretty much the correct size for them, so that's very sensibly done. Clear sprues are in a separate bag inside, so that's really nice. We have the instructions here folded up in the bottom of the box, and inside these instructions, there you go, we have the decals. Why other manufacturers can't do this, I do not know. Why do they have to put them on in the bottom of the box, on top of the instructions, face up, and then all the sprues slide around on top of them? I don't know why they can't do the same as Airfix and just put them inside the manual. There you go. So there's our decals. So we'll put the kit to one side. You can probably hear me sucking a sweet. I'm sucking a Jakeman's because my cold has got so bad that I am now coughing literally every 30 seconds. I got about 3 hours sleep last night, I think. I started doing the review of the beautiful Gerard R. Ford in 1/350th from Trumpeter, and stopped about 7 times before I even covered the hull. So I've given up on that. It's just going to be such a bitty sort of rubbish review. And I don't want to do it with a sweet in my mouth. We'll see how I feel later on. So here we go with the instruction manual as per normal Airfix. Beautiful instruction manual. You can see how bad things have got even with a sweet. I just stopped for a cough break. Beautiful instruction manual. Kit number, by the way, is A03313A. And you've got down here, surfaces to be painted should be clean before parts are removed from the sprue. Wash in warm soapy water. Rinse and dry thoroughly. Stir paints thoroughly before use. So always worth remembering that. A lot of people don't bother. I do sometimes, but rarely, to be honest. But it should really be done. Got some history about the actual truck itself there. And then in here, opening up the manual, we've got the legend here, which is all the different symbols for what we need. We've got some assembly instructions in here. This is basically read the manual first, do this, do that, don't feed it to your dog. And we've got 4 different options. So we've got the early version, build steps 1 to 40. Okay, so we've got an early version there with the small windscreen, no canvas roof, no canvas back, no canvas tilt, should I say. We've got the early version, no canvas tilt, but with the canvas roof. And then we've got the early version, canvas roof and canvas tilt. So there's 3 options there. And then we've got the late version, which has basically got the canvas roof, canvas tilt, but it's got the later windscreen. You can see the design. I'll hold it up closer to the camera. You can see the design there. You've got the later windscreen there, and you've got the earlier windscreen there. So you've got the early and late here, early and late. So depending which one you're going to do, you can see the windscreen pillars on that one angle forward, on this one they're straight. So there we go. So we've probably got different roofs. And then it's telling us, it's always great with Airfix, build steps 1 to 40. Okay, and that's it. And with this one, you're going to build 1 to 18, and then you're going to jump straight to 41 to 63. And that'll be really, really clear in the instructions, because Airfix instructions are some of the best. And no, I'm not an Airfix fanboy. If it was rubbish, I would tell you. But I'm really, really chuffed with Airfix lately. They're doing some great stuff. Right, so we're starting off with the build. We've got the engine halves going together. We've got a one-piece chassis, so that's nice. You've got no worries about having the chassis all out. I'd rather have a separate piece chassis because I enjoy building them. But for everybody else who's got a normal mind, unlike mine, they'll be happy with a one-piece chassis, especially on something this small. So we've got the fuel tanks going together there. And as always with the Airfix instructions, if you go from step 2 to step 3, in step 3, the parts you've done in step 2 will be highlighted in red, which is something I wish some other manufacturers would take on board, because so many manufacturers go, that goes there, and that's it. And you've got to think, where on earth does it go? And nowhere in the manual does it show you where it goes, but they're always showing you what you've done previously. So here we've got some leaf springs going on. Maybe worth just gluing one end of each, leave one end free, and then you can adjust them to have it sitting on 4 wheels just in case. But just be careful with your clean up in these areas so you don't sand too much off, and you don't want it wobbling on 3 wheels, do you? Building an axle up, putting a differential cover on there. So that is the rear axle. And then here we're going to add the exhaust, and then the axle is going to pop in on top of that, and we're going to add the front axle. So it's a 4x2, it's a rear wheel drive truck. Then we've got the prop shaft going in, and then we're adding the rear floor. So it's telling us the colours that we're going to paint it here. So A86 and B29. 86 is matte light olive, and 29 is matte dark earth. So you're going to paint it depending on which colour, which version you're going to do. So here you go, we have the mud flaps going in, or mud guards are they. And then we've got here, you can have the wheels, what they've done, they've made the end of the axle radius so you can actually position the wheels where you want. Always nice to have a bit of an angle on the wheels rather than just having faces straight forward like a corgi toy. So there we go. Wheels and tyres going together. Looks like the tyres have got a little flat spot on them, which is a nice touch, but they do have this big chunky tread on them. They actually look alright, but apparently they're not right, and because somebody told me they're not right, I can't unsee it. So there we go. We're adding the, is that the firewall there, or bulkhead or something? There's a bulkhead or something going on the back of the cab floor. And then we've got the centre box going in. This is the rifle rack. We've got the handbrake, the gear lever, clutch pedal and everything in there. Adding some seats, and then building up the steering column, and then all that's going in there. So the floor's going in here. Oh, we're not doing a steering column. And then we're straight into the intake, the carburetor and everything. And then we've got the, well, that's the dynamo on there, is it? Dynamo, intake, carburetor looks like. And then we've got the fan belt going on there. We're adding in a panel into the centre of the rear end, and you can have that open or closed. I'm not sure why it opened. Maintenance, storage, emergency exit, I'm not sure. Then here we're going to add that steering column that we built up previously into the bulkhead there. We've got some decals for the instruments, which is a nice touch. Remember guys, this is 48 scale, it's small. And then we're going to add the bulkhead there, or firewall, whatever you want to call it. And then we've got an air intake system going in here. And then we've got that going on there. I'm not sure what that is, whether that's a relay box or some of that. It's some greeblies or whatever going on the bulkhead. Nice that they've thought of that. Many manufacturers don't. And then we've got the front radiator and front panel going on. We've got the side covers going on. You might decide not to put those on. And then we've got a bonnet open or a bonnet closed. So you've got the choice here of having the bonnet open, or you can have it closed. That's a nice touch, isn't it? Very nice touch. Quite often they would give, other manufacturers would give you a line in there to cut and split it open, but they've done it for you. And then we got the main front panel of the rear going in, side panels going in. So this is with no tilt. You can see this is either version with no tilt. And then we've got, oh no, sorry, this is the, yeah, this is early version, no tilt. And then we've got the rear end going on onto there, so we can have that drop down or in the closed position. So that's a nice touch. And then we're building up the tilt, so the tilt's going together. Notice as well, one of the biggest issues with these tilts is getting them to fit nicely on the sides. What Airfix has done is moulded in the sides with the tilt there, so you're always going to get a lovely nice tight fit, and then you drop that down over the top. So there you go if you're building it with the tilt up. And then we have, this is all early version, remember, because if you remember in the instructions it told us to go from 1 to 40, wasn't it? 1 to 40. So we're on step 32, so not far to go now. And then on this one we're going 1 to 18, which was basically up to there, and then we're going to jump straight in at 41. So this, what we're doing now here is all early version. Okay, so again we've got up or down, and then we've got the we can have the rear curtain down or rolled up. God, this kit has got so many options, it's brilliant. You'll have a lot in your spares box at the end of it. And then here we go, we've got the step going in the other side, and then we've got the canvas doors going on, or you can have them rolled open. I think I would have them rolled open because it would look great, especially if you've done some nice work in the inside. And then you've got the little tiny windscreen panels going in, you've got them up there and you've got them down there. God, it must have been drafty driving this thing. Imagine driving this in the driving rain, and the rain coming through that gap in the middle. Cool. And then here we've got the pillars going in to support the canvas roof, headlights going on the wheel arches, and that's it for the early version. Okay, so now, remember on the late version we went 1 to 18, and now we're going 41. So, pedals going in, instrument panel going in there, and then we're going to add that down, same as we're doing on the early one. Front panels, side panels. We've got headlights. Oh, that was side lights going on there, not headlights, sorry. Headlight covers going on there, bonnet open, bonnet closed, front wall of the rear end. And then here is, we've got some differences going on. We've got this panel going in here. You've got doors. You've got actual metal doors that you can have hinged open should you wish, because they've given you the option to do that. So there, this is like a rear slam panel for the door to go into. Windscreen going in. I didn't see that. Okay, this is the difference. You've got a complete new firewall bulkhead with the windscreen integral to it. So that's the difference there. And then we've got the clear windows going in the sides. Nicely, they've done them in one piece, and then you can just mask and paint the frames. You're going to build up the tilt with the tilt closed. So this one is actually going together all in one piece. You don't have the option with this one to have the back end open. I'm sure you could if you wanted to, but it would take a bit of work. They're not giving you that straight out of the box. Back door up, back door open, curtain down, curtain up. Steps going in the sides. Mirrors going on, side lights going on, job done. And then over the page we are doing our Mickey Mouse. It's not Mickey Mouse, I thought it was. It's not Mickey Mouse camo. So we've got matte dark green and matte dark earth. So, oh sorry, matte khaki drill and matte dark green. I've got a feeling that'll be SCC2A, isn't it? It's like a brown colour. I've got my own mix of it here. And then down here we've got the 86. No, 29. So this one's the matte dark earth as well. I thought this one was going to be the green, but it's not. Okay. But anyway, check your references. Make sure that what they're telling you is right, because sometimes manufacturers can get it wrong on their colour callouts. You know, they pick up a piece of information that's incorrect or whatever. We all do it, but just be careful. Don't follow restored examples. So that's the instructions. Right. Let's have a look at the parts. I can't believe I've just gone about 5 minutes without coughing. It's amazing. Maybe things are getting better. So all of the parts in one bag, as you can see. So we'll put the clear parts to one side for a second. So what we've got in here, we have our grey sprue, or a grey sprue. This is sprue A, and it's looking very, very nice. No flash. It does feel a little oily, so it's going to need to be washed, which is no problem because the sprues are small. You can see we have extremely chunky tyres here. I'm going to put the light on now that we've looked at the instructions. We have extremely chunky tyres here, which, as I say, now if nobody said anything, I probably wouldn't have noticed. You've got here we've got the bonnet or the hood or engine cover open and closed. We've got the rear door here. We've got the rear side panels there for the non-tilt version. Canvas doors, metal doors, engine and transmission halves, fuel tank covers. There we go. There's the second cough. Steps going in the side. Seats here. Looking very nice. No ejector pin marks as well, which is a nice touch. And then we've got those rear mud guards there. Canvas doors rolled up. Steering wheel, toolbox, mirrors, fan belt, some greeblies for underneath the bonnet, handbrake. Engine side covers, obviously early and late versions there. We've got the rolled up tilt for the back end. Can't see the tilt rolled down for the back end. That must be on another sprue. Yes, I can see it now. And we've got the front axle there. Leaf springs here. Diff cover, prop shaft, all very nice indeed. There are no ejector pin marks on any of the parts. Wow. Well done, Airfix. Even on the inside of the bonnet, nothing. Even on the inside of the engine. All of the ejector pins are on the sprue. Thank you. Why can't everybody do this? Also nice to see, something you often see with leaf springs, they get sink marks in them. These have no sink marks in them whatsoever. They are lovely. Really, really nice. Beautifully done. Well done, Airfix. Awesome. Bearing in mind this is 10-year-old tooling, guys. So, we have ejector pin marks here. Right, okay, so we have here, these are the rear sides with the tilt up. So this is going to be early and late, or whichever one's which. The difference is in the ends. You can see on the ends here they're raised. This one's sort of flat. We have that's the canvas roof for the late version. That's the canvas roof for the early version. Not sure what that is. We've got the floor here. That's nice. We've got the two bulkheads, firewalls with windscreen without. Got the front panel there with the radiator and the fan integral. We've got the rear door there. No, that's the front of the back end, isn't it? That's the canvas rear end for the late version. No, that's the canvas front end for the late version, is it? I'm not exactly sure. Or is that the canvas front end for the early version? Yeah, that's what that is. I thought we'd already seen a radiator on the last one. No, we didn't. And then we got the there's the curtain for the back end, and there's the steps for the early version, the steps for the late version on that last sprue. And yeah, very nice. Got the wheels there. Got some lovely moulded in detail for the nuts and everything. Bear in mind the rears are different than the fronts. Dear, 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 I've had to go and get something to help keep my nose clear as well now. So anyway, there we go. Less about my health and more about the bloody kit. So there we are. So yeah, bear in mind, front hubs have like little caps on them. Rears have the end of the drive shaft on them. So make sure you don't get your wheels mixed up. Although on here you wouldn't be able to, because the front axle wouldn't fit in the back wheels. So that's the second sprue, and the third and final grey sprue for this kit. We have there's the chassis with the fuel tanks and everything. There's our rear floor. There's another one of those canvas things. So we've got two of them. I'm not exactly sure what they are. There's one there, look. Oh, they're the canvas roof, duh. Yeah, they're the canvas roof for the early and late types. And then we've got the rear axle there. Chassis. Now we have got ejector pin marks on here, but again, they're inside the fuel tank, so they don't matter a bean. That's going to be underneath the rear floor, so that doesn't matter a bean. And these in the engine bay, you might want to fill those because you might want to have your bonnet open. We've also got some in there in the wheel arches, so you might want to do those. But other than that, there are none. But we can see we've got all the pressed steel detailing for the panels that go up the sides of the engine. We've got some front lights here, or headlights. There's the gear stick there. There's that panel for the centre of the floor to be opened or closed with the little ring pulls on it. So yeah, very nice indeed. I'm just looking here again at this last sprue. Ejector pin marks. Yeah, there's 4 in that roof, and there's 4 in that roof, and that's it. Yeah, there's some sink marks here, but they're in the backs of the wheels. You can see these rims are sort of sunk because the plastic's so thick, but the fronts look perfect. So that's good, but I'm replacing the wheels anyway. Very nice indeed. So yeah, really, really nice. Go to town with some wood graining on there, have it looking all lovely. And then, last but not least, we have the clear parts. See what these are like. They should be gorgeous because they're flat. And I've got a knife that doesn't cut, which is, if a knife doesn't cut, is it still a knife? It becomes a piece of metal, doesn't it? So here we go. We've got our windscreens. We've got the early and the late windscreens, and we've got the side doors there. And Airfix have got the sort of vinyl, the clear soft vinyl to a T on there. Really nice. What a bloody beautiful little thing. This would go lovely with the new Airfix 148th Wellington and the new Airfix 148th Lancaster. Dream on, Nigel. So there we go. So that's the... Oh, we've got the decals to look at as well. So we've got the decals. These are cartograph, as I say. We've got the instrument panel there. We've got our warning there. A number there. And then we've got some RAF roundels for the RAF version. Serial numbers. Really nice. They'll go down a dream. So there has been a review of the 148th World War II 1500 weight 4x2 general service truck. Now, shall I carry on? Yes, I will carry on now and do the Albion as well in one review. Okay, so moving along, here's the second of the new kits out today. And this is the 148th Albion 3-point fueler, refueler, whatever. And this was basically seen out, you can see it's refueling a Hurricane there, or Spitfires. And it would have been out refueling smaller aircraft. Obviously this wouldn't do something like a Lancaster because it wouldn't carry, you'd have like 10 of these lined up in front of a Lancaster. But there we go, so the kit number is A03312, the last one was 3312A. So here on the side of the box you can see, same as the other one, we've got tooling date 2015, very, very nice, cartograph decals again. And then going around this side, we've only got one version, and this is Royal Air Force 1940, so she's an early one. We've got some history there. If you want a freeze frame, you can have a read of that. There we go. So it's 118mm long, 45mm wide, 113 parts. So, and they're recommending there you get the Humbrol products. Obviously you can use whatever you want. We've got one flying hour on there, which I forgot to mention on the last one. We've also got the flying hour. So, opening the box, obviously haven't looked in here yet. And as I said earlier, I wish I'd got these when they first came out, but got them now, because Airfix do keep re-releasing stuff. We want the Land Rovers, please, Airfix. Can we have the Land Rovers, please? Thank you. So, the 148th Land Rovers from, you know, when you did your Afghanistan stuff. So, there's the bag. Got 4 sprues in there. Looks like quite a big little truck, actually. A big little truck. Yeah. One part off loose there. This is one of the problems with having parts all just chucked in one bag. But hopefully nothing's damaged. Instructions in the bottom of the box. And once again, decals inside, which is always a nice touch. That's something I love about Airfix. They always protect the decals. So we're going to put the sprues to one side. And as usual, we'll have a look at the instructions first. So once again, wash your parts. There's some information about the truck there. One decal scheme included. So, icons there, which are going to tell you all the symbols and stuff here. So, we're going to get the chassis. Again, it's a one-piece chassis. We're going to add the gearbox cross member and another cross member there. We've got the four leaf springs. I'm just looking, what are they? I don't know what they are. They're just bottles or something. I don't know what they are. But they are basically on the front of the leaf springs. Probably nothing to do with the springs, but they've just got them there. It may be some sort of levelling device. Maybe they can pump them up to make the fuel go to the back of the tank to drain out or something. I don't know. And then we've got the engine block going to... Oh, that's the transmission, sorry. Transmission going together there with the prop shaft going through. Got the flywheel here with exposed teeth. Engine halves going together. You could really go to town and detail this engine should you want to. And you can see that's all added in there. We're not adding the engine yet. That's going to be over the page. There we go. We're going to drop the engine in. And we've got the cranking handle going in the front there. Rear axle going together. Looks like a big old diff in there. Going down onto the springs. Adding the main prop shaft. Front axle. Same as on the 1500 weight truck. We've got the steerable wheel. Not steerable, but positionable wheels. And they're showing there how it all goes together with the mudguard and everything there. So that's a nice touch. And then coming along here, we've got another cross member going in. Another cross member there. We've got some steering gear, is that? Not sure what that is. And then we've got a starter motor or something going on the side of there. Fuel tank. Engine cover, so it's a flathead. Fan belt. We've got an exhaust system. And they're telling us there should be a gap there on the fan belt. So be careful when you glue that in, not to be gluing it to the head. Exhaust pipe going onto the back of the exhaust manifold and coming out the side. Always get a drill and drill the end of your exhaust out. That look lovely. And then coming over the page, rear mudguards going in, adding the wheels and tyres. These tyres are road tyres, so they look nice. Again, as with the 1500 weight, you can pose the wheels. We've got the back of the cab going in here with the backrests, seat bases, and then we've got the seat backs, seat bases, and seat cushions there. Instrument panel, windscreen, steering column, steering wheel going in, and then here we've got the bulkhead or firewall being added to the floor. Make sure it's all nice and square. Don't let the glue dry before you fit these side pieces, and then get those side pieces in. You've got this door is closed, that one is open, or openable, and then you've got this pipe going on the back here. So there's a great big pipe going in there, and then we're going to fit the cab down onto the chassis. Lovely looking thing, isn't it? Right, and then we've got here, we have the fuel distribution unit. This is for going in the back for fueling the aircraft. And that's all going to get closed up in that box. We've got some pipes coming out of there. That's going to go down on the roof. We've got the main tank going together. If I were you, if you're building one of these, do this first. Okay, jump straight to steps 38 and 39, do all that, and then it'll all be ready. All this will be dry and ready for you to sand the seams. Otherwise, if you do it now, you've got to wait before you can move on. So here we are, adding on the distribution unit, easy for you to say, to the back of the tank. We've got some step ladders there and the big thing on the top, the thing, whatever it is. We've got some side panels going in here, we've got some steps going in, dropping down the tank onto the chassis, dropping down the radiator, engine side covers, bonnet. We don't have the options like we do with the 1500 weight, but there's no need to glue the bonnet down. You can have it removable so you can see your engine underneath. We have a bull bar going on the front there. And then onto here we're going to add some wheels, so they look very nice. Same in here. Why are they telling us that's going on the side there, is it? It's going on the door. So make sure if the tyres are flat spotted, make sure you don't use a flat spotted tyre on the door, because it won't be, because it's a brand new tyre generally. Doors going on the back of the fuel distribution unit, so you can have them closed or you can cut them down the middle and have them open, like so. Okay. DO7, DO6. Okay, I'm struggling now. I don't understand why we have cutting in half and then we have a pair of separate doors. Not a clue until we look at the kit. We'll remember that. DO6 and AO9, we'll have a look at those when we look through the sprues. And then we've got the fuel pipes all in situ, all in storage. If you're going to do a diorama, you need to do some work with this and have the pipes disconnected and everything into the wing of the aircraft. But this is as it's posed in transport or at the airfield distributing fuel. You can see there you've got a big T shape, or you can have it there in like a V shape. And there we go, all done. So we've got one camo scheme here, same as on the early 1500 weight. So you've got the matte dark green, the matte light olive and matte black. So use tyre black for your tyres, don't use matte black. And yes, we do have that tyre on the door there. So all in all, very, very nice. Okay, so we'll have a look at the decals. So we've basically got our numbers here for going on the doors. I think they go on the doors, don't they? No, on the side of the tank. So they go on the side of the fuel tank. And then we've got a number plate, instrument panel, a little hazard warning there, and we've got some gauges as well. So very nice indeed. Tiny little decal sheet. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And the cartograph. So, going into this bag, as I say, one bag, 3 sprues, never a great combination, but hey ho, saving the planet and all that. So take these sprues out, make sure we shake the bag out, make sure we get all the parts come out please. That's one of those doors, isn't it? Funny enough, I don't think it is, no. Make sure you don't throw your bag away until you've checked that there's no parts rolling around in there. So you've got that separate piece there. So we'll put these to one side, have a look at the first sprue. And this is sprue B. Again, this is quite oily, so these could both do with a wash, so best just chuck them in a... Get the sink, run some warm water. You don't want it too hot. You want it hot enough that you could put your hand in it, but, you know, not cold. And then some washing up liquid, put your sprues in there, swirl them around, don't brush them with anything, just swirl them around, and then leave them in there for sort of half an hour, let them degrease, take them out, swirl them under the cold tap, get all the soap off, and then leave them on the side. If you do have any loose parts or anything, make sure you take them off because they might go down the drain. Or what you can do is do it in a washing up bowl, and then any parts that do come off will be in the bottom of the bowl. What I often do, because I don't have a washing up bowl, I put the plug in the bottom of the sink and just leave it loose. It takes forever for the water to run out, but any small parts that come off won't go through the tiny little gap that's left when the plug's just placed in the hole loose. Right, so here we have the tank. Oh, that is oily. Here we have the tank. So there's the top of the tank, the lower sides. There's the top of our fuel distribution unit. We've got the... Is that the bulkhead at the back of... Yes, that's the bulkhead at the back of the tank. So that's sitting between the tank and the distribution unit. We've got our fuel pipes there. And as you can see, I didn't pick this up in the instructions. It looks like the pipes are separate. I didn't even notice that, look. I was talking about cutting the pipes off. You don't have to add them. There's the pipes there. So if you are doing a diorama, just leave the pipe off. Attach your piece of vinyl tubing, whatever you're going to use to this end. You don't have that. So that's a nice touch. Well done, Airfix. I didn't even notice that in the instructions. It's because I feel so ill. We've got some cross members here, we've got the fan belt, we've got some, whatever that is there, prop shaft, carburetor, door, spare wheel, some nasty sink marks in that wheel. Let's get the light on. Got some nasty sink marks there, you can see it's a bit distorted. Perhaps resin wheels for this one as well. But all in all, very, very nice. This is the problem you get when you mould thick parts. Obviously there's a lot more heat, it takes longer to cool, so it doesn't shrink the same as the rest of it. We've also got some tiny sink marks in that door, but I'm not going to worry about that because it's going to look great under a coat of matte paint. It's going to look absolutely fine. So there's sprue B. Sprue, I didn't look at ejector pins, did we? Ejector pins, the only ones that matter are in that roof there. There's none on here, none there, none there, none there. There's some of those wheel arches you might want to get rid of. There's none on the inside of the tank either, which is nice to see, but it wouldn't matter if there was. So coming down here we have sprue C. So there's our chassis with integral mud guards. They've done this nice. What they've done, they've made the edges thin by putting an edge on there and then rolling it back. So obviously if they were made to scale, they'd just snap easily because they're only sheet metal at the end of the day. Engine side covers. We've got our engine half there, and there'll be another engine half somewhere else. Yes, on the next sprue. We've got our leaf springs here, front and back. Again, no sink marks, which is nice to see. We've got our front axle there, bonnet, and we have some seat padding there. We've got the top of the fuel tank. There's the bottom of the fuel tank. Very nice indeed. And then coming along here we have sprue D, and there we have the front of the fuel tank. We have the bulkhead with integral windscreen frame. There, I thought that was an ejector pin mark. It's not. It's like a swirl mark from the milling cutter when it's done the tooling. We've also got a couple of ejector pin marks down there, which I don't think they'll matter. We've got the radiator there with the integral fan. There's those doors. So that's the D doors. And there's the A doors. Ah, okay, I can see what the difference is now. These are if you're just going to have the doors just open a bit. If you're going to have the doors open right out, then these have got the hinges on them. Look, these have got the hinges integral. So if you're going to have the doors open, you know, past 90 degrees. God, dear, I'm bloody sneezing now. Rear axle. There, we've got a seat cushion there. That's the other side of the engine. Fuel distribution unit. There's a big pipe there. Some hoses there for the inside of there. Doors, as we said. And then we've got the ladders going up the side of the fuel tank there. So yeah, lovely. Again, oily. It needs washing. And then finally we've got, well, not finally for the grey parts, we've got sprue A. So there's our tyres, which look very nice indeed. And we've got the wheels here. We'll look at the front of the wheels in a minute, see what they look like. We've got the sides of the cab there. So this is the passenger side with the fixed tyre on there. And then this one is the driver's side with the door that can open. Or is it? Is it left-hand drive? Yes, left-hand drive by the look of it. So there we go. And we have... These are the this is the front of the fuel distribution unit. These are the closed doors or slightly open doors. Got the driver's door there. There's the canvas cover for the cab. There's a rear of the cab, and there's the floor of the cab. Again, that's wood, so you can do some wood graining on that. If you want to see how to do that, go look at my World War I Wednesday, the number 38 or 37. Talk about it and show you on there where I put the wood grain in with a saw. Engine parts here. There's lots of little parts there. And there's the flywheel with the ring gear on it and the clutch and everything. And then here we have the wheels. And we do have a small amount of shrinkage on the wheels, but nothing like as bad as the spare. The tyres are lovely. They have no tyre lettering on them as such, but they do have a lovely, very, very restrained tread, which is really nice. So yeah, all in all, lovely. A happy purchaser I am. And then coming down here, coming down here, we have the clear parts. So we have our windscreen here. It's got lots of sinkage in it, but I'm assuming maybe it's vinyl. I'm not sure. Maybe that's intentional. It'd be easy to replace with a piece of acetate. And then we've got some side windows here. Headlights and rear lights there. So you can see on there we've got the windscreen, but it's got some terrible distortion in it. It's where it's so thick. So I remember this, you know, this kit was tooled 10 years ago. So what is nice to see actually, even though we've got 4 injection points on there, we don't have any spidering, so that's good. Again here, 4 injection points, no spidering. They've all learnt their ways now, and these days they'd have 1 injection point, not ejection. These are ejector pins, okay? These things that stick up or leave marks on the surface, ejector pins. And these are sprue gates, which are the injection gate. That's where the plastic is injected. So there we go. So that's been a review of those two. So we've got the 148th Albion 3-point refueler, and we've got the 1500 weight 4x2 general service truck. So that's been a review of both of those. Go get yourself one. They really are lovely. And I think this one was $17.99. I think they're both $17.99 on it. This one might be slightly more expensive. But for the price, I mean, blimey, absolute bargain. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon, and I'll get a build of these done very soon. Bye for now.